Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Tuesday live stream. We should be live now, and you should be hearing me now. We made it. We have a special guest tonight who I am going to bring in just 1 second. Let's see. Three quick things. Thing number one, JLS Comics. Thank you for not unfriending me. I made some jokes when I was on Chad's show. I was just kidding. Just kidding. JLS Comics, you're great. Really glad that you're here. It was just jokes. A couple quick things. It's Tuesday, so there's a new episode of Half the Battle, so make sure you check out Half the Battle. Right after this show, there is a new live stream for What's on Joe Mind, so you can roll right into that when we're done here. And number three, there is a new episode from Codename New 2 Vera 2 about Big Ben. So having said that, sorry to get all the preliminaries out of the way quickly, but we have a guest. We have a guest who needs no introduction, which is why I'm not going to give him one. There is Chris.
Hello, or Hoodie Coco, perhaps, would work better.
Yes. But you're wearing the hoodie, so I'm calling you, I don't know, Chrissy Coco. That doesn't make sense. That's the dumbest thing I've ever said. It's nice. It's nice. You've doubled up on GI Joe.
I doubled up.
Doubled up on the Cobra. Doubled down. So anyway, hello everyone, and hello to Chris. Hello everyone in the chat. I see that Marianne is here. Hello, Marianne. It's nice to see you.
Marianne.
She's a very nice person. Oh, good. JLS Comics knew I was joking. I'm really glad because I was being a smart ass, and then he wasn't in the chat anymore, and I'm like, oh no, he rage quit. No, but it's okay. It's okay. It's all fine. It's all good. And also, please forgive my internet connection if it gets herky jerky. We tried to play around with that before we started to try to get it as smooth as possible.
Yeah,
Chris,
I think you probably look good to them. I think it's just like trying to process me. I'm a little glitchy. Hopefully you guys can at least hear me.
At least for me, the audio is coming through pretty well. So hopefully that will continue. And I want to say right off the bat, Chris does a show on YouTube called Comic Tropes. You've probably heard of it. And I wanted to embarrass Chris right off the bat by saying the first time I encountered your channel was when you hit 300 subscribers and I won a contest. That was pretty special.
Oh yeah. Was it really 300?
Mm-hmm. 300 subscribers. I won a thing, which is, so I've already got my kickback. I'm good.
That's cool. Yeah, that's a long time ago.
I wanted to say that I'm really proud of you and your success. It's very well deserved. And then I thought you could really have a wide reach, and you have. So congratulations. I know that it is a hell of a lot of work. I understand, but you've gotten some success, and I'm happy to see it.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I talk about comics. So I was at New York Comic-Con, and that's why I'm here. Because I attended the Allergy panel.
That
the only reason I'm here.
Yes. So let's talk about that. You were at New York Comic-Con, and some news has come out of there. So I mean, just kind of set the stage for us as far as your experience at New York Comic-Con and just how that went, and just the overall general environment.
Well, I've gone to New York Comic-Con since it began, which was either 2008 or 2009. Maybe it was anyway. It's been going on quite a while now, and it's a big convention. Just to let people know, I mean, it is in terms of events. It actually has a few more than San Diego Comic-Con. The Javits downtown Manhattan is a massive convention center that's only grown. They've sort of built I guess you'd call it an annex. So it's all very well connected. Like it looks like it's all one thing. several, like about 5 stories tall on one end of it, and floor 4 is very big. They've got most of the. I went to the Energy Universe panel, which was basically, just a bunch of the people from Robert Kirkman, his Skybound Entertainment, including him. His first starting on Saturday, the busiest. Yeah, it was fun. Diana Davis, who a lot of us know, she's the continuity expert and everything. She was like, I'm really curious to see what actually gets revealed, and I like that there was no one else that was like responding or anything. And so I felt like it was my responsibility to go since she really wanted somebody to go.
Yeah, and I did twist your arm. I put you on the spot. I admit that, but I'm basically shameless. There you go. JLS Comics wanted to know, did Chris get the Duke and Cobra Commander ash cans? Look at that. That's some nice artwork. I like that.
Yeah, that's Tom Riley. Tom Riley's a really good artist. And then the person drawing the comic coming out, we'll explain it all. There's going to be a Duke and a Cobra Commander comic. Cobra Commander drawn Andrea Milana. I don't really know Andrea Milana. I can show some pages. Basically, by attending the panel, they gave you this several black and white pages, no dialogue, just give you an idea of what's coming. I think that they've even blacked out. Yeah, so there's some panels that they actually acted, but they've got some nice comment on like what the writer Josh Williamson wants to do, and the thoughts of the artists Tom Riley and Andrea Milana. And it was also just interesting to what they're doing, because this is a rebooted continuity.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to do like 2 books initially, and then I'm assuming at a certain point it will sort of become GI Joe. But for now, we've got Duke coming in, I believe November, and Cobra Commander in January. Monthly books.
And with that, I think I'll pop up the pictures that you shared, because you got a couple pictures from the panel, and you can kind of tell us what we're seeing here. This is this, I guess, is the Joe team that they're starting out with.
That is the initial Joe team, and I think that in this chat can probably who's, but there's been some slight revisions. They're also going off of the look of the classified figures generally. Although this is technically Duke before he really joins GI Joe, so like his outfit will eventually like mirror that action figure even more. In the back of the ash can, artist Tom Riley says he was trying to make sure that there were at least some of the iconic elements you expect out of Duke, like the yellow shirt and the bandolier.
Yeah.
And that's Hawk on the left. Probably people could guess. I'm pretty sure that is Colonel Hawk in this version, not General Hawk. Not 100%, but I believe they're starting him off at Colonel, the original Larry Hama comics. And we can at least see that they've decided to give him darker hair, and he's and visually they differentiated him a little from how they, originally they drew Hawk so much like Duke. It was hard apart. Stalkers, so I'm sure you're happy about that.
Always.
Worth noting, we're not starting with some of the expect like guys and but Baroness, and they didn't really explain that yet. That's of course something that we'll get to understand in the first few. Baroness is part of this team for some reason. I don't trust her.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Folks have noted that the audio is cutting in and out, so sorry about that. That's my thing. But I was still able to pick up, everything that you were saying. So I could understand you, and I hope that we can get that cleared up. But yes, the Baroness, that's a very intriguing choice. I am absolutely fine with them representing Hawk as older. I mean, that's very distinct from Duke, and I think that's absolutely fine. But at least in this reveal here, no Snake Eyes, no Scarlet. What? When and will they enter the story? That's very intriguing.
I have to feel that. I mean, I have to believe that they will. But if anybody out there has picked up the first issue of Transformers, which is also, in this continuity, and I thought I had that here.
I believe I have a picture of it in a slide. This one?
Yeah, issue 2, which is coming out in a couple weeks. That's going to feature Duke. They explained. So that's where like this whole sort of crossover starts. The writer Joshua Williamson said Duke is going to basically be, the best of best. The U.S. military can offer. He's a normal guy, but he's a super soldier. I'm kind of frozen, but can you hear me okay?
I can hear you.
All right. But encountering a transforming robot, an alien, is going to really upend his world, and he's going to have some real trouble reckoning with this changing his whole world outlook. And that's going to be some of the impetus for needing to potentially form a GI Joe team.
Okay. I'm very intrigued. As I've noted before, I'm always a little bit dubious about crossovers between GI Joe and Transformers, but of course, I'm happy to give this a chance. I want it to do well, and I want it to be good. So this is something to look forward to, and I sincerely hope that it's successful and it turns out to be something that really catches on.
I think that there's a couple things that could make this good. First of all, they've hired some really top tier talent. Joshua Williamson is the guy, and written of big stuff at see. I've booked that he image called Dark.
Hang on, the audio is cutting out more, and so I'm going to try taking this out of the way and see if that helps. I'm sorry. Carry on.
Oh, I feel bad. I feel hope there's stuff just to acknowledge them while I'm talking. That's not distracting. But Joshua stuff recently, as well as a horror comic called Dark Ride that I've been on my show. And he's trying to do some new things, but I can tell you this because I talked to him. Interrupt me if I'm breaking up too bad.
You're doing a little bit better. It was a little rough for a second, but you seem to be doing a little better.
Talking to Joshua Williamson after I had to talk, and we got on really nice. And I said, I'm glad that Larry is still that continuity. Josh, when he started talking to potentially taking over right Joe, sure, but I didn't mean that like comics going away. He's gonna be continue doing.
Hey Chris, I hate to do this to you, but you are starting to break up more. So
okay.
I'm sorry. Okay. It's got to be my connection. It's not the best. So I'm not really sure what to do about that, and I apologize.
Don't worry about it. Why don't you dump me, talk to the audience, and I'll jump into the stuff by.
Okay, all right. That will work. Thank you for trying. Thank you for being here. It's nice to talk to you, one-on-one and face-to-face for once. But I'll
absolutely.
We will try to we'll try to get this to work some way or other. So okay. Thanks, Chris.
Yep.
Okay, all right. Sorry about that, but hello everyone. Okay, let me catch up on the chat. Let's see. Marianne says Chris's feed is cutting. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's a bandwidth issue. I'm sorry about that. Hey, hello, Bart and JoeFan84 and everyone. Wow, hello, Peg Warmers. So now that Peg Warmers is here, let me say briefly thank you for working with me on the Dino Hunters review. That was a lot of fun. You brought a lot of knowledge and information that I could not have gotten otherwise. I don't have access to all of those Jurassic Park tours. It was extremely helpful, and I hope everybody is subscribed and watching Peg Warmers. Great show and really a great friend as well. So thank you very much. My apologies, Comic Tropes. My apologies, Chris. Of course, the technology is going to break down now. That's just how computers work for me. Anyway, so yes, but thank you for some insider information. What I was going to show. Let me pop this back up here. So that's the GI Joe team. This looks like this is the Cobras. And am I correct? So we have Zarana, Cobra Commander, and Destro. And is that yes? That's Mercer behind them. I like that idea. I like the idea of starting out with Mercer firmly in Cobra. There is some character development there, and that's really cool. And Pegwarmer says it was great. I borrowed the TRex from Hack the Movies, and Jordan from Geek Anything brought the rest of the stuff. And please thank Jordan. I did send you a message to convey my thanks to Jordan, but I'll do it publicly now. Thank you, Jordan, and thank you for all of that. That was an extremely important part of the video, and I deeply appreciate it. So let's see. Yeah, establishing Mercer is a great idea. I think so. Hello, Diana Davis. Nice to be here. Thank you for being here. I had Comic Tropes on for a minute, but then my technology pooped out. So sorry about that. I'll go back to slide 1. This is our GI Joe team. We've got Hawk, Duke, Baroness, and Stalker. Our initial Cobra team, we've got Cobra Commander, Destro, Mercer, and Zarana. Comic Trope says Joshua Williams said he only wanted to write GI Joe if he was sure Larry Hama was getting to do his run, and was told that was always the plan. That's really solid and good to hear. I'm really glad that they are making sure that Larry can continue the story that he started. And you remember with Marvel in issue number 155, it ended rather abruptly, and I don't want Larry to have to end the GI Joe series abruptly again. So I'm really glad that he's able to continue. Yes. And let's see. You know what? I haven't said hello to Andrew. Hello, Andrew. Andrew, the guy so nice they named him twice. Nice to see you. Williamson also explained his goal with Cobra Commander was to explain why all the men in Cobra are willing to serve him when they basically hate him. I think that's also a nice idea. I know that Larry has touched on that some. He's touched on that a little bit here and there throughout the series as to, why do people, like in particular, people who have their own power, like Destro, like Major Blood, like the Baroness, why are they following Cobra Commander when they clearly can't stand the guy? So I'm also interested in seeing what his characterization of Cobra Commander will be. That's a character I think that can be played with a lot. I think you could expand that character a lot. I think that's it's intriguing. That's intriguing. The Blue Libra says, "Why is the Baroness on the Joe team?" We don't know yet. But eventually we will find out. Cobra Commander, the comic was described as basically a horror comic. For instance, Buzzer will use the chainsaw on his weapon. Nice. So perhaps a bit more adult and gory, maybe than what we're used to. But I think, as with everything, it depends on how well it's done. So we will. I mean, like I said, I'm willing to give this a try. I want this to succeed, so we're going to give this a shot. We are going to give this all of the shots. Let's see, and let's see. Chris says, yes, Duke became the field team leader. In the lengthy IDW run. Yes, but not too gory. We'll say rated R gory, at least PG-13 gory. I really think folks will appreciate artist Tom Riley and Andrea Milana's work. I've liked what I've seen so far. Marianne says, does this occur in New York every year? I'm referring to New York Comic Con. I'm pretty sure I think it does, except didn't they take a break during the pandemic years? Do I remember that correctly? That they for at least a year or two they held off. The question was whether Larry had softened on Duke. Yeah. As he's written before, it took a while for Larry to warm up to Duke, but he seems to have grown into the character and has been using him quite a bit more. Hello, Robert Irizarry. We don't know that she's on the Joe team, just she isn't in the just that she's in the cast of the book. Perhaps, but it does suggest, and they are in a team group photo here. It looks like it. We'll see. We will see. They could just do it. Do what everyone demands, and do it exactly the same as GI Joe: Rise of Cobra, and have the Baroness be Duke's love interest until she gets turned to Cobra, but then has her brainwashing lifted through the power of love. Through the power of love is what cures the Baroness from her brainwashing for the Cobra. Let's see. It says meet the team. So at least it's at least implying. It's at least implying that that she's on the team. The Energon universe encapsulates Void Rivals. That's something that has been out. Kirkman's sci-fi book, Transformers, and GI Joe. As I hate to keep reiterating the same point, but when it comes to GI Joe and Transformers crossovers, I always worry that GI Joe is going to be let me see if I can adjust my. Yeah, I think, let's see. Well, that's a little better. That it will be mostly Transformers and a little bit of GI Joe. It'll be like Transformers and GI Joe down here, and that GI Joe will be playing second fiddle to the robots. But at least it seems like they're trying not to fall into that, that typical trap that is easy to do when you've got a popular franchise and a popular IP like Transformers, and there's no denying Transformers is popular, has been popular. It's had more mainstream pop culture success than GI Joe has in recent decades. That's just a fact. There's no denying that. Because of that, it's really tempting and really easy to make any crossover sort of all orbit around Transformers. Transformers is the giant sun that everything else orbits around. But GI Joe, I think, still has an important story to tell. I think there's still a lot that can be done with it, and I think that it deserves its own spotlight. So I'm hoping that they will do a good job with it. And Comic Tropes says, For what it's worth, the panelists made it very clear that each book will be self-contained for the overall story they're telling. Okay. That is encouraging. And also saw Super 7 Cobra Mothership, and my God, it was massive. Okay, let me show that. Hold on. That's yes, I've got your photo of there is the photo of the mothership, and this is a hot topic that I wanted to kind of throw out there. The mothership, the Super 7 mothership, which is going to be not going to be, it is a crowdfunded project. That is not in my wheelhouse. I am neither a collector of Super 7 nor animated series themed stuff, which most of Super 7 is kind of more reminiscent of the animated series style. So this is not in my wheelhouse, and even if it were for $500, and for the size that I don't have, I'm gonna get the Dragonfly. I don't have a space to put that thing. I have no idea where I would put the mothership. I just don't have the room for it. But I'm curious how many people are interested in it. And of course, it's GI Joe, so I hope it's successful. I want it to be successful. It's definitely off to a slow start. It's scaled to 3.75 O-ring and comes with parachutes, 2 trouble bubbles, gun emplacements, and 2 figures for $500. Now, and thank you for bringing this up, because I think there are some reasons why it's going to be priced in that range. We've talked about in the past that since GI Joe, since Hasbro owns GI Joe, they don't have to pay any licensing fees on it. So basically, any money they make off of it is theirs. That's it. It's so they can. They don't have to account for licensing fees in their prices, in their price points. Super 7, on the other hand, they are licensing GI Joe, so they do have to pay a licensing fee on top of whatever it costs to produce the thing. And I have no idea what that is. I don't know how much that is, but for something of this scale, and this is massive, it is huge. I don't see any way that they can make it less expensive. So I know that's going to be an issue for some people. And I have to think that their thought was, if they're gonna have to make something expensive anyway, why not go for the gold? Why not, go for the biggest, awesomest thing that they could think of and just make it huge, But I am very curious if a lot of people are going to jump on that. It is a lot, and that's that $4.95. If you add a few extras, I've seen some folks with receipts showing that after shipping and taxes and extras and stuff, they're getting totals closer to $800. That's a lot. That's a lot. It is a significant amount. But you're getting significant stuff. So I'm just very curious. I'm very curious who is interested, and I'm very hopeful that it does well. So far, we've been really successful at crowdfunding ventures with 3 successful HasLab projects. And let's not forget the GI Joe adjacent crowdfunding projects that have been going on with your Call Sign Longbow and Operation Recall and others. It's been a really successful time for GI Joe crowdfunding. But it does kind of sour folks if they run one and it doesn't land, right? If it's not successful, then you have to worry that, okay, we have found the upper edge, to how far we can go with these, and then everything you get will have to be something lesser. But I absolutely hope that that it's successful. And I will be watching it closely. We'll do updates. We'll check for updates, but it is off to a slow start, and that's got to be understandable for the price point. So I'm sorry, I've missed some chats, but I wanted to make sure to cover that. And thank you again, Comic Tropes, for these pictures, and thank you for coming on the show. In addition to that, I just wanted to show this since we're talking about Super 7. These Super 7 Ultimates figures. And as you can see, we've got some $55 figures here of Zartan, the Baroness, Gung Ho, and Stalker. And then we got some what looks like unpainted test shots, I guess, of what looks like CoverGirl and Roadblock and Major Blood and a Crimson Guard. And despite wearing clothes, they are nude. That's a very, racy and unexpected direction to take the Ultimates. I haven't been buying the Ultimates. They're really expensive. And Chris points out the Ultimate series looks nice, but that's a lot of money. That's exactly right. That's where I am about it. It would be nice to have them. It would be nice to have them, but that is a bit out of my price range for what they're getting. But anyway, thank you for your on-the-spot correspondence, Chris, and thank you for jumping on here. And again, I'm very sorry that the technology didn't work very well for us. We got it worked this much. We got it going this much, but sometime when you have time, I'll try to bring you back on, and we'll try to make it work and get it working properly. But thank you again. I would like to pause. Thank you everyone for being here, but I'd like to pause for a moment. Because I would like to say something special about Marianne, my girlfriend. We are coming up on 1 year. We're coming up on our first anniversary here in just a few days. I will not be doing the Tuesday live stream next week. Why? Because we are doing something special for our first anniversary, and so I won't be available. I will be around after that. But I wanted to thank Marianne for a wonderful year. It's been fantastic. She's great. And I love you, and thank you for being here. Thank you for being supportive, and thank you for sticking with me for an entire year. It's been pretty special. In that year, she has already gone with me to Joe Fest. She's had the Joe Fest experience, and she seemed to really have a good time. And I hope that we can do a lot more. I love to travel. And I love to travel with Marianne. And honestly, if I could just go from one convention to another, just make the rounds, just do that all year round, I'd probably be fine with that. I can't do that because I have to live here. I got responsibilities here in this place. But I'm just saying, I really enjoy the conventions, enjoy the shows. And speaking of which, Assembly Required coming up on November 3rd and 4th in Des Moines, Iowa. I will be there. That was kind of a last minute decision. I used some of my rewards points to get a hotel, not the conventional hotel, unfortunately. But I got a hotel in Des Moines. So I'm going to go. I'm not taking any extra money for toy hunting. I don't have a budget for hunting toys right now, but I'm going to go to hang out with people. I'm going to go see people, and hopefully have a good time. So Assembly Required, Des Moines, Iowa, November 3rd and 4th. Hopefully you will be able to make it out there and see me. Yes, she's really funny. She has a great sense of humor, and she enjoyed Joe Fest. And it's been a ride, hasn't it? It's been a wild ride. Excitement and adventure. I did promise at least occasionally there would be excitement and adventure. So yes, we are we're going to be unavailable next week. Very busy doing other things. We might post on the social media. We shall see. Yeah, we're coming up on a year, and it's been a hell of a year. So yeah, wow, it's like I think we covered everything in what 35 minutes. Well, show's over, guys. Everybody, but no, the show's not over. I see What's on Joe Mind. Hi, What's on Joe Mind. Don't forget, What's on Joe Mind is coming up after this show. The link is in the description of this video. There are actually a lot of links in the description of this video, so please go check out all of them. Tuesday, that means it's a new episode of Half the Battle with Timmer. Right after this show, there will be a live episode of What's on Joe Mind. Codename New 2 has a new episode about Big Ben. Comic Tropes, Chris from Comic Tropes, I put the link to his channel in the description as well. And if you are interested in backing the Super 7 crowdfunding Kickstarter thing, then I put the link in the description for that as well. I'm really interested. Please let me know. First of all, if you are going to back it, what interests you in it, and if you're not going to back it, what is keeping you from backing it? I can tell you, for me, it's that I haven't been actively collecting the Super 7 stuff. It's super expensive, and I don't have any place to put it. So that's it's just right out. Yeah, even if you're watching the replay, please let me know. I'm just very curious the pros and cons that people are looking at as far as this Super 7 Cobra Mothership. Marion says we will take lots of pictures next week. Yes, we shall. Yes, we shall. It should be a lot of fun, and believe me, I need the time away. I'm about. That was me sneezing. Pardon me. It's allergy season. Anyway, let's see. JoeFan84 says, I'm not because of the price. Hello from the Hilt. Oh, I don't think I've said hello to a lot of people. Hello, Sparkster. Hello, Brandon. Hello, David Andrews. Hey, Draws. Nice to see you, Draws. Hello, Zaymot and Joe Fan. I already said hello to Joe Fan, but hello, Joe Fan again. Hello, Exploriso. Hello, Brandon R. So it's let's say Brandon R. also not into 5 points of articulation. Yeah, I feel the same way. I'm not really into the 5 point of articulation Super 7 figures. They're also, I think, a little pricey for figures of that construction. But like, to be fair, they work perfectly fine for what they are, right? They're not designed to have the same kind of play value that the O-ring figures had. They're made for kind of their display ability and kind of the throwback retro look of the Star Wars style construction, and they do look nice. I mean, I do like the way they look. They really kind of like the smoothed out details and everything. It really does kind of capture the look of animation. It looks like the animated characters from the cartoon, and I think that's an important niche, and I think it was really smart to license that to Super 7 rather than Hasbro doing it themselves, because I think that could be a successful market for fans of the animated series. Oh, hey, one thing I forgot. One fairly important thing about the Super 7 Mothership. It includes an O-ring figure. So fans of GI Joe O-ring style figures who have been neglected lately, who have not had new stuff lately, had to be patient with all of the classified and the Super 7 and the reaction figures and all that. There you have it, an O-ring figure. You only have to pay $500 and get the mothership for it, but it's an actual new O-ring figure. Let's see. Chris says includes 2 O-ring figures with the option to pay $475 more for 5 Vipers that are O-ring. That's right. There are some add-ons. So if you are interested in these O-ring figures, that could be a reason to pick it up. And I know there have been some O-ring fans. That makes more sense. That'd be that'd be a lot more. But there are some fans of O-ring that just they have felt neglected. Like everything else is going on. Everything else is coming out. You got your 6 inch, you got your all this other stuff. But the O-ring figures have been neglected. Well, neglected no more. And I could legitimately see this as a reason why some people might go for it. I mean, I wouldn't. It's not worth that to me. But if you like are really focused on the O-ring figures in your collection, that's something new. That's something that's going to be special, right? I don't imagine there are going to be a lot of them floating around if the way to get them is to buy the $500 mothership. So I can see that I can see some people seeing that as either something special that they want to have because they've missed the O-ring, or something that might be an investment for O-ring collectors in the future, who may not want the mothership, but would like to have new and fresh O-ring figures. Let's see. Marianne says it needs to go soon. Well, that's okay. I will catch up with you after the show, and thank you very much for being here. Thank you for a wonderful year. And you also came into my life at the perfect time. And it's been fantastic. Thank you. And thank you for being here. Thank you for everything. It's been a heck of a week. I've got, I did the Dino Hunters thing. I hope everybody enjoyed the Dino Hunters. I mean, it was almost an hour long. This is why I think that I should probably tweak my format a little bit to make that a little more digestible. I'll work on that. But I still enjoyed looking at it, and I hope everyone enjoyed the review of the Dino Hunters. I was able to. Thank you, Chris. Thank you. I was able to get some information that I did not know before I started researching for the Dino Hunters review. I thank you. I thanked Peg Warmers for what they did. Also, thanks to 3D Joe's, to Carson. There is some information in the new Art of GI Joe hardcover omnibus book that is supposed to be shipping in December. It has some information about Dino Hunters that I had never heard before, and I had not found from any other source. And believe me, I've looked. I've looked at as many sources as I could possibly find. I will add that Audrey really wanted to wear the dinosaur costume. She doesn't normally get that involved in making videos, but as soon as she discovered that I had a dinosaur costume, I had the TRex costume, she's like, I want to wear the TRex costume. I was like, okay, you get the TRex roll. You get the TRex roll. Thank you, Ratface. But yeah, that information from Carson's book, from the Art of GI Joe, could not find it anywhere else. So thanks to Carson for helping me with that, for allowing me to use that. It was very much appreciated. I was allowed to use it before the book even ships. He was able to get me that information. Some of that information, some of that stuff, I found myself just by kind of looking around, because the dinosaur that came with that, the T-Rex, man, that didn't look original. That did not look like something that came out of Hasbro's design department. So I knew that somebody had mentioned that it was modeled after an existing dinosaur toy, but I couldn't remember which one it was, and I couldn't find where that had been mentioned before. So I just went to eBay and started looking at every dinosaur toy that they had until I found that one, and that turned out to be the precise dinosaur that Hasbro licensed from Imperial Toys. And to clarify, they did license it. They didn't steal it. They didn't, underhanded just go buy a dinosaur toy and copy it. They did license it from Imperial Toys. But I felt I really wanted to have the dinosaur that they copied, right? I wanted to have that in hand so that I could show it to you side by side, and you can see, look, it's not just a little bit alike. They clearly copied it. In addition to that, I found, so I looked up the trademark. With the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office, you can look up trademarks by name. So I looked up the Dino Hunters trademark. And what I saw was that it was trademarked by Tonka with Hasbro's address. So this was after, the acquisition. So that prompted me to go out and start looking for Tonka Dino Hunter. And it turns out that I was able to find that. I was able to find that. And it's not really that rare. They're fairly common. I was not able to find the dinosaur that came with it, but it wasn't that difficult to find the Tonka Dino Hunter from 1992, after the Hasbro acquisition. So that's after the Hasbro acquisition of Tonka. And there it is. There it is. Dino Hunter Tonka truck. So yeah, I had to pick that up, and then I had to see it, at least see if I could find out what the story was behind it. Now, I haven't been able to confirm it. I can't confirm it at all. But based on the trademark registration date and the dates when it was first used in commerce, I think the Hasbro GI Joe brand team had that name trademarked under the name Tonka, because Tonka was already using it, and because not because they were going to use it for another Tonka vehicle, but because they intended to use it for GI Joe. I can't prove that. I can't prove it yet, but that's my suspicion. That's what I believe may have happened. But what that does mean is that for the name of this set, they didn't really come up with anything new. They looked through the catalog of what was already out there. Comic Trope says, prove it in a court of law. Well, I would be happy to, if the statute of limitations hadn't expired. Let me give you a little inside scoop here that I didn't mention in the review. So the copyright for Dino Hunter, at least in the area of toys, is dead. It's expired. There is a Dino Hunter's trademark, but it's for like a dinosaur educational park or something like that. But in the area of toys, nobody has the Dino Hunter's trademark right now. I had the thought, it did occur to me, I had the thought of registering Dino Hunters for myself. Actually going out there and grabbing it while it's available. I decided not to. It's not an expense that I really need right now. Plus, I don't know what I would do with it. I'd do something with it. But thank you, White Vegeta. Mezco Duke. There was a Mezco Duke that came out, but I'm not prepared. We'll have to talk about Mezco Duke next time because I was not prepared and I didn't get a picture of it. So next time, thank you, White Vegeta, for bringing it up. And thank you for the super chat. And thank you, White Vegeta, for being a supporter for such a very long time. I very much appreciate having you here. My thought, though, if I were to... there is the ultimate judgment on Mezco Duke. Diana Davis says it's lovely. I have seen pictures of it. It does look really good. It does look really, really good. How much would the Dino Hunters license cost? Well, license, I don't know, but the trademark, I think it's something like $450, $475 per per area that you register it. So, it's not outrageous, but it's just not something I need to do. And my thought, though, was that, yeah, I could get it. I could maybe whip up a web comic or, I could do something with it. But if Hasbro wanted to revive Dino Hunters for GI Joe, for whatever reason, for classified, for whatever, if they wanted to revive the Dino Hunters for GI Joe, I would hand over that trademark for free. They could have it. Because, frankly, I would like to see... it's so quirky and bizarre and strange. And I would love to see what they would do. I would love to see them attempt a classified Dino Hunters. So if Hasbro calls me up and says, hey, we want to do a classified Dino Hunters, can we have that trademark? I'm like, yeah, here it is. It's all yours. My curiosity is too great, right? I would have to see what the heck they would do with that. So that would be my condition if I were to get the Dino Hunters trademark. Is that I would give it up. I would give it up to one party, being Hasbro, under the condition that they will do something with it. Whatever they would come up with. I mean, is it possible to come up with any ideas for Dino Hunters that wouldn't be bizarre and strange and kooky? You know what? I'm kind of in the mood for strange and bizarre and kooky. Give me some strange and bizarre and kooky right now. I'm in the mood for that. But anyway, that's the thought that I had. But it didn't get past the thought stage. One reason it didn't get past the thought stage is because I was really, really busy trying to make a video. Yeah, here we go. 2 weeks later, they repaint those figures red and call them Crimson Dino Hunters. Exactly. See, that's that is like another level of ridiculousness, and I am amused by absurdity sometimes, and that would be a level of absurdity that I would get a chuckle out of. That would be pretty funny. So anyway, we are coming up on close to an hour. I don't want to go over because What's on Joe Mind will start when I am done, and I don't want to go over their time. Yeah, I'm working on a smaller scale review, an easier review that hopefully will be up this coming Sunday if I can get it done. I'm working on it. And the following week, I won't have anything because I'm busy. I've got an idea. Actually, I have an idea plus a possible collaboration with somebody that I've never collaborated with before, and I'm really excited about it. But I can't tell you what it is because it would be a spoiler. So that's something that I will need to work at before, during, and after assembly required. We'll get to it. But smaller scale, a Crusader review. See, yes, that's smaller. That's a smaller scale than a Defiant review. I mean, Yeah, Defiant review would be too much, but hey, a Crusader is smaller, so I can do that in a week. Well, let's just say it's a figure. It's just a figure, but it's in the theme of spooky season. What could it be? What could it be that could strike fear in the hearts of men and probably women too? Dogs, cats, all of them. It strikes fear in their hearts. What can it be? It will be, I guarantee, it will be less dramatic than all that. It'd be kind of anticlimactic. But see, these are good ideas. These are good ideas. Comic Tropes has some good ideas. Toxo Zombie, Monstro Viper. Those would be good ideas, which is why I'm not doing them. See, those are good ideas. What I have is an easy idea. Easy. After the Dino Hunters review, I need something easy. Easy. So anyway, yeah. Yes, Ice Cream Soldier. That's an assault on the eyeballs. My Ice Cream Soldier figure is actually with Timmer. I gave my Ice Cream Soldier figure to Timmer, even though I knew he already had one. I wanted him to have every bright orange figure and vehicle that I could fit in that box. So you're welcome, Timmer. You're welcome. So it is about time to wrap up. I shouldn't go long. You know what? I didn't even turn my attention to Gung Ho. So I guess I can't open Gung Ho in 3.5 minutes. That's not enough time. We'll try to open Gung Ho next time. Chico and the Man figure, yeah. It'll be on the same pegs as the Mego Starsky and Hutch, with the Mego Welcome Back Cotter. Yeah, poor Gung Ho. Yeah, he's you can look, if you could see the expression on his face, he's not happy. But thank you, everyone. I really missed. Oh, hello, Stonegate Creations, man, and hello, Firefly and Jeff. Man, I didn't say hello to everybody. I'm sorry. But thank you to everyone for being here. I really miss you guys when I'm not able to do this show. I'm going to try to keep doing it on a regular basis, but like I said, next week I will be out, and we will have to return the following week. I'll be back, and I'll try to get some more guests in. Because I need to iron out what's going on with my bandwidth here that's making the audio choppy. So I'll figure that out. I'll work on it. In the meantime, everybody, if you would like to, just roll right over to What's on Joe Mind and check them out. So I guess we got a couple minutes, but I'll go ahead and wrap it up. I'll say thanks. I'll see you guys not next week, but the following week. And thank you all for your support, and thank you for being here. So good night, everyone, and I will see you next time. Bye. Bye.